नेशनल डिज़ास्टर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट फंड NDRMF के। बहुत वेलकम सर, बहुत खुश आमदीद हमारी तरफ से। अच्छा, मूवमेंट सर ने उनको बताया कि 10 महीने पहले से हम ये प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हैं अब, सो हमारी प्रिपेयर्डनेस का लेवल बढ़ जाएगा, हम ज़्यादा बेहतर तरीके से इन कैलामिटीज़ को फेस कर सकेंगे।
CEO of NDRMF, we have Iman Shandhana with us, who's like the CEO of RSPN, and then we have amazing colleagues from Mobilink, from like different consulting background with environmentalists, from wildlife sector, and we'll be discussing the impact of climate change on women's livelihood. We have people from agriculture. पहला हमारा क्वेश्चन था, हम उसको दोबारा रिपीट करते हैं कि जी क्लाइमेट चेंज जो हम सुबह से बात कर रहे हैं कि वो women की livelihoods को कैसे impact कर रहा है। And then we can talk about solutions moving forward. Over to you, Ma'am Shandhana.
Thank you for putting me on the spot first. One of the things I'd like recorded in this by the note taker, please, is that this outreach exists and has.
Anybody who would like to have some words or share their thoughts? Sir, आप और कोई?
I think I'm sure the insights and the stories from the field are those. I mean, they're going to be a lot more empowering to hear, because that's where the solutions actually come from, and that's where we, the kind of the practitioners, actually should be kind of drawing upon and learning and try to integrate and kind of interventions and the project supports which we do. It doesn't happen most of the time for a number of the reasons, and we all know the challenges, we all know the kind of communication friction which happen at several levels. So I think it'd be a lot more enriching to hear from the participants. And just want to add as well, I think it's a good mix right now, because when we say about livelihood, the definition of the livelihood, somebody, a woman in Balochistan or some remote area of the Sindh is very, very different as compared to somebody who's actually leading a department in an academic setup, or who is at the cutting edge or the forward-looking kind of a sector in Mobilink or the telecom in general. So I think so this variation itself is bringing a really strength into the discussion. So I'll just leave it here and hear from all of you.
Using वो जो कढ़ाइयाँ होती हैं to wade through it, to go to market, to go to school. I thought under 4, the figure should be 25%. So वो जो सारी चीज़ें की वजह से जो
और काफ़ी मंथ्स पहले का है, तो प्रेडिक्शन और काफ़ी मंथ्स पहले जो है वो अगर लोकल डिपार्टमेंट्स के पास, लोकल पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के पास अगर वो हो जाता.
But as she mentioned, only 15% people have the smartphone. Others doesn't have smartphone. So how? So I think
जी आप अपना याद करें वहाँ से पब्लिक अगर वो लिटरेसी वाला जो आपका कमेंट है वो एड्रेस हो जाता है तो मतलब
aware also, and there are a lot of groups like Growtech है और भी सारे जो smart agriculture के practices
हमारे ऑफिसर जो हैं इसका अवेयरनेस देते हैं, अवेयरनेस नॉट ऑन द मैसेजेस. अब आपको पता इग्नोर करेगी, तो इसके लिए हम लोग ये करते हैं कि जो बडेरा सिस्टम वहाँ पर जो होते हैं उनकी बात जो इन्फ्लुएंशियल पर्सन्स होते हैं
ऑफ डेथ कि जी कमिंग आपका मानसून किस एरिया में कितना आ रहा है और कितना उसका
इट्स नॉट फाइन, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. आई डोंट वांट टू
अभी हम जस्ट फाइंडिंग द टेलकोस की वजह से
सो
तो उसको कहाँ से पैसे देने हैं? फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट स्टेज.
पॉलिटिक्स लोग आने चाहिए थे जिन मतलब उनके पास कुछ स्टडीज, या अगर ऐसी स्टडीज नहीं आप निकल नहीं सकते, आप अपने काम पे नहीं जा सकते, मदर्स होती हैं जिनके बच्चे होते हैं,
तो ये चीज़ खुद से भी कर सकते हैं, उनके लिए रेवेन्यू भी जनरेट कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर एग्जांपल हम EPA की
mentioned about we need a policy rectifications, and I think many times we don't we have a lot of policies in one sector or other sectors, and then we are completely devoid of the policy frameworks or anything like this, which in the broader development sector things have been happening. I mean, there was a reference about the insurance and the crop insurance and livestock insurance,
poultry,
and all these different schemes which were kind of undertaken, accomplished. Some were done slightly more successful than the others. They were actually happening without any policy legal infrastructure present in the country, and then I think that one of the reasons actually none of them actually graduate and go into the scalability of it was reason that because the insurance industry in general was not really was not ready to kind of take that kind of a risk, because their core business is to deal with the risk, and when the policy infrastructure is not there, the regulatory system is not there, of course the risk exposure is very high. And similarly, there are several other examples which have been mentioned. I think that from the since we are this conference is happening under NCSW, and their mandate is policy, and I think this is, if I understand correctly, the purpose for this was to kind of create that kind of connectivity from the practitioners to the policy, and I think this is we can provide the most valuable kind of contributions and inputs back to the NCSW. So I think should be our feedback going back. Insurance, for example, we and the RMF, we had the mandate, and we actually very first time in the country, we just in the last couple of years working extremely hard with a lot of stakeholders, and we come up with this very first time disaster risk financing strategy. And this is a strategy now approved by the government, and that should be providing those kind of other policy infrastructure, and some of the regulatory pieces are still missing. And but the insurance industry is willing to take that forward and implement, and we are going to be helping them and supporting them as one of the coordinating activities, especially when it comes to it. So it has the two components. One is the risk retention, the other one is the risk transfer. The risk retention is a much bigger piece, and that is actually be sitting somewhere within the Ministry of Finance, whereas the transfer, of course, is going to be working with the private sector. We believe that we have slightly more experience and expertise moving ahead, and that's what we're going to take forward. So many of those schemes which have not really graduated or evolved the way it should have been evolved, I think, and similarly many other areas as well, both institutionally from NDRMF as well as personally as a policy practitioner. I believe that's because of the right connectivity between the policies were not there, or the policy frameworks were outrightly were not in existence at all. So I think while there's a huge need for undertaking a lot of studies, academia is here in the room, and I think they should be taking up this task. I think this kind of a policy mapping should be happening, and somebody have to take that kind of responsibility and bring it to the limelight, bring it to the different stakeholders, and then set the process for kind of rectification of these policies. So वो पाकिस्तान के बारे में एक वो ये भी कहते हैं, बड़ा फेमसली कहते हैं, ये पॉलिसीज का कब्रिस्तान है, ये शानी और ग्लॉसी पॉलिसीज का कब्रिस्तान है। तो I think
private sector को साथ लेंगे।
So what happens is, which I found actually, कभी-कभी मैं leverage ले जाता हूँ, being a relatively new in Pakistan, and having learned from so many other disaster-prone places in the world. So
they are more disaster-prone than us.
Oh yes,
we are the fifth one. So he was in the first report.
There are actually. I mean, I have questions on the risk index, the methodology behind it actually, because I have seen the worst places. No, I think यहाँ पे जो एक approach होती है, 2005 का earthquake आया, और उसके बाद जितनी भी disaster preparedness, disaster risk management, disaster risk reduction, ये सारी भी approaches जो evolve होना शुरू हुई, वो इस तरह से हुई कि इस मुल्क का मसला सिर्फ earthquake था। 2010 का फ्लड आया, उसके बाद
रिएक्शन है ना,
ये हुआ कि नहीं, हमें सिर्फ फ्लड्स का मसला है और कोई नहीं है, हीट वेव्स से यहाँ का कैसे आना, अपना फॉरेस्ट फायर्स तो मसला ही नहीं है हमारा, वो तो हमने वैसे भी काट खाए हैं, तो होंगे नहीं तो आगे नहीं लगे, दैट्स मे बी वन सॉल्यूशन एज वेल। तो किसने कहा था गुर्बत को उठाने का एक गरीबों को उठा दो तो ना गरीब रहेगा ना गुर्बत रहेगी। Anyway, more on a serious note, you're talking about the Sindh housing project, SPHF, and so it basically originated out of the flood. Whether it is taking the construction and everything else is really taking into consideration the other disasters, and actually they are not actually taking into consideration the flood as well. So, you know, it is being showcased as a very successful project. You know, I have friends there, and I always tell, you know, whom I'm referring to, and I will say your comms team is doing a much better job than your actual team on the ground.
So local weather.
It doesn't take into account at all.
Heavy roofs if they fall. that's it,
Exactly.
Right. And I also
Kind of worrisome, since our mandate is for livelihood, and not necessarily every single 1.5
And
million.
environmentally friendly also.
Every single house is going to be constructed where the communities were living before,
Yes.
and whether the livelihood potential is there for the communities or not. You know, there are so many examples in this country